Hello students, welcome to Global Online Classes. So students, in this series of lectures, I'll be discussing unit people development environment, and I'll be discussing the topmost MCQs that will be asked in your examination, and I'll be explaining all the options so that your entire syllabus will be covered. Watch this complete series till the end, and I'm sure that you will not be disappointed in your examination. The first question is, which of the following is ozone depleting substance? So first of all, understand what is ozone depleting substances, or what is this entire phenomena. So if you see between earth and our sun, so this is earth and then this is sun, so there is a protecting layer of a ozone, right? And this protecting layer of ozone, so ozone is denoted by O3, and this protecting layer of ozone prevents the ultraviolet UV, so this is UV lights from coming directly on the earth. So what happens if this UV light directly comes on earth? So this causes, if it falls on us, it causes cancer. So ozone layer protects the direct uh, interaction of the UV lights with the earth, right? So you have to understand this phenomenon first, and then this layer is getting depleted or getting harmed or getting disturbed by the substances that are called ozone depleting substance, and those substances are chlorofluorocarbons, halon, carbon tetrachloride, carbon. So all these hydro, bromo, and chlorofluorocarbons. So you remember CFCs, CFCs. So wherever you see something like this chloride, so you have to see that that is a ozone depleting substance, and these ozone depleting substances are protected or are regulated from a protocol that is called Montreal Protocol. What is that protocol? Montreal Protocol. So there might be a question, what is the protocol for the protection of the ozone layer? So that is it is governed by the Montreal Protocol. So you have to remember all these names. If not, just remember wherever you see carbons or chloro, fluoro, or bromo, right? So you have to remember chloro, bromo, or fluoro. Whenever you see some option, you have to see that is something is harming the ozone layer. Now I hope you have understood this complete phenomena of ozone depleting substances. We'll quickly go through the other options. Sulfur dioxide is responsible for acid rain. Remember, it will give acid acid rains, right? And then carbon dioxide is responsible for greenhouse effect, greenhouse gases. So this is greenhouse gas. Methane is also greenhouse gas. So what happens in greenhouse gases? The temperature of the earth is going up, so that phenomena is called greenhouse effect. I hope I have completely explained this phenomena, and if you have any doubt, you just comment in the comment section. The abbreviation NMSHE in the context of climate action plan of government of India stands for. So they have given us an abbreviation NMSHE, and they have asked what it stands for. So before we go to the actual answer, so the government of India in the year 2008 has launched National Action Plan for climate change. So remember, this is very important. Remember, you have to go through National Action Plan for climate change, and under this plan, government of India launched 8 missions. How many missions? So there were 8 missions under this plan, right? Under NAPCC, National Action Plan for Climate Change. So what were they? So National Solar Mission, most of the time there will be a question on this solar mission, then National Mission for Energy Efficiency, then National Mission on Sustainable Habitat, and National Mission Water Mission. Then our answer is here. You can see National Mission for Sustaining Himalayan Ecosystem. That was also one of the mission. Green India Mission, National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, and National Mission on Strategic Knowledge for Climate Change. So these were the 8 submissions under the National Action Plan for Climate Change, and the full form, as you can see here, is National Mission on Sustaining Himalayan Ecosystem. So name suggests that it is for helping and sustaining the Himalaya and its surrounding, right? So what were the sub goals of this system is to get the ideas of Himalayan glaciers and its associated hydrological concerns, then biological conservation and protection, wildlife conservation in Himalayas, then traditional knowledge societies and livelihood, and planning the sustaining Himalayan ecosystem. So these are the 5 important goals of this national mission on sustaining the Himalayan ecosystem. So I hope in this small abbreviation question you have understood this national action plan on climate change for climate change. So it has 8 missions. So these are the 8 missions. You can pause the video and read. And then of that national mission of sustaining Himalayan system uh, has these 5 important goals. I hope now you have cleared this question. Moving on to the next question. Global environmental issue of ozone depletion is due to emission of. So this is the question framed in a different way. So we have already seen in the earlier question that CFCs, right? Remember these CFCs are responsible for depletion of the ozone layer, and that is chlorinated hydrocarbons, right? Chlorofluorocarbons or fluorinated or brominated hydrocarbons. We have already seen it. So the correct answer is B only, right? Which of the following types of power plants provide the electricity consistently running 24 hours per day and 7 days a week? Means what is the constant source of electricity generation among the following options? So as you know, when sun sets, the solar energy it does not generate the electricity in the night time, and wind velocity is not constant all the time. Sometimes it stops, sometimes it will be very good wind velocity. So this also is not constant source of electricity generation. Then hydropower plants also, sometimes there will be a drought, sometimes there will be a flood. So this is not a constant, and will have to it will have disruptions. But geothermal energy, so what is geothermal energy? It is the energy derived from earth's subsurface. So remember, this is earth, and so whatever the heat in the earth crust, so from this heat the energy is derived, and it is used for heating, cooling, or generating electricity. That we called geothermal energy generation, or geothermal electricity generation. And this is a constant source, right? So it doesn't depends on the any atmospheric pressure, sorry, any outside source, right? So this is the source you have to remember. This is the continuous source, 24 hours per day and 7 days a week, and our correct answer is geothermal energy. So they have given us 2 statements. The statement 1 is wind farms are generally set up on the exposed hilltops and coast in remote areas. And second is, so this is correct statement, because for setting a wind farm it is generally required to have large area, because they have to set so many wind turbines and it will take a large area. So that's why it is set up in the area which is not habitated by humans. So it is uh, set on the exposed hilltop and the coast. And the wind velocities are steady in the remote locations. So this is one thing. So wind velocities are not steady at the remote location. So you have to remember, wind velocities are steady at the high altitude wind. So you have to remember. So this is wrong and this is correct. Wind farms are this is wrong and this is correct. So wind farms are set at the exposed hilltops and coast for the area and the wind velocity. So wind velocity is generally constant at these places, but uh, the steady velocity, the most steady velocities are for high altitude winds, right? So the correct option will be statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. So option C will be. So they have given us assertion and the reason. So we have to find out whether they are correct or not. The production of electricity from renewable energy sources is without adverse environmental impact. So production of in the production of renewable energy, electricity from the renewable energy, they used directly as sources from nature, like sunlight, like water, or like wind, right? But for making this solar panel, right? So we have solar panel. So for that we need silicon cell. Remember, we need silicon cell, and for making this silicon cell, we need a very high purity water. and this high purity water, in a large amount of high purity water is required for making silicon cell, and which in turn is used for the solar energy. So there is an environmental impact. So this statement is wrong, and there is no net emission of carbon dioxide into atmosphere from the exploitation of renewable energy sources. So this is correct. So you see, whenever we make electricity from water, from solar, and then from wind energy, so there is no emission of carbon dioxide. So this statement is correct. So A is false but R is true. So the correct answer is A is false and R is true. So you remember the round here. So this option D is correct here, right? The question is, which of the following pollutants have the adverse implication for the human health as well as the climate change? So they have given us five uh, chemicals or pollutants and asked which of them have adverse implication on the human health and the particulate matter. So students, you might be hearing in the December month, in the winter month, in Delhi, people talk about the particulate matter level going high. So what happens if the particulate matter 2.5 level goes high? It causes the several cerebrovascular and the cardiovascular disease, and it will lead to morbidity and mortality from the cardiovascular and the respiratory disease. So it is very important uh, pollutant which causes the adverse impact on the human health. And then prolonged or high exposure of the ozone will lead to the it will trigger the asthma attack, reduce the lung function, and it lead to the lung diseases. So remember, these two pollutants like particulate matter and the ozone are very important pollutants that causes the adverse impact on the human health. Nitrogen dioxide is oxide of nitrogen, then methane is greenhouse gas, then nitrous oxide is oxidizing, strong oxidizing agent. So these others are harmful too, but to very less extent. So our correct answer will be ozone and particulate matter 2.5. So you have to remember, they are particulate matter causes the cardiovascular and respiratory disease, and the ozone triggers the asthma attack and lead to the lung diseases, right? How many missions are there under the climate action plans of government of India? So friends, whenever climate action plan of government of India comes, so you have to remember national action plan for climate change, right? So this is NAPCC has total 8 submissions. So you have to remember, there are total 8 missions. And what are they? National solar mission, national mission for enhanced energy efficiency, national mission on sustainable habitat, national water mission, national mission for sustaining Himalayan ecosystem, then great green India mission, national mission for sustainable agriculture, and then national mission on strategic knowledge for climate change. So you have to remember all those missions and their long form, because sometimes they will give you acronym and will ask you the uh, full form, right? So remember, under the government's action plan for climate control, there are 8 submissions. According to Indian Meteorological Department IMD, average sustained speed over 3 minutes of a cyclonic storm is in the range. So Indian Meteorological Department, that we call IMD, is situated into New Delhi, and it gives a certain particular range of wind speed over 3 minutes. So from based on that, we can decide whether what type of cyclonic storm is this, and this is the chart that you can remember. So you don't have to remember everything. The highest wind speed is for super cyclone, you have to remember that, that is 221, and for the lowest wind speed, it is called depression, and its wind speed is 31 to 50. And for the cyclonic storm, you can see here cyclonic storm, the wind speed is 63 to 88. So I think if you can remember these two, and then you can just guess remaining uh, super cyclone, whether it is extremely severe, very severe, or the severe cyclonic storm. So based on the this value, like remember 221, 63, 88 and the 31. So 31 for the lowest, then 221 is for the highest, and in the middle you can remember 63 for cyclonic storm. Anything in between you can just guess, right? So I hope you got it correct. So our answer is 63 to 88 for the cyclonic storm, right? Now, which of the following natural hazard, is characterized by progressive occurrence and multi-casualty? So, they have asked which occurs progressively, and it causes the multi casualty. So we have just seen the COVID-19 pandemic. So what is pandemic? Pandemic is when it occurs in the different countries, right, at a time, like in China, like in India. So it had covered all the world, so we called it pandemic. But when it happens in a particular region, it is called epidemic. So this so this happens with the virus, or any pathogens, and then so many people get affected in particular area, and then there will be so much of a casualty. It is called epidemic. So the correct answer is epidemic, and if it happens in the several other continents or countries, so we called it pandemic. So wheezing is the most relevant health effect in case of which of the following pollutants? So we have seen the ozone leads to the asthma attack, right? Asthma attack. Then carbon monoxide exposure leads to the instant death, because it will choke you off the oxygen, right? And then you have nitrogen dioxide, so it will irritate your your respiratory system, right? So it will irritate the, and sulfur dioxide will cause the wheezing. So what happens in wheezing? You will have the breathing difficulty, and you will make noise while breathing, right? So you have to remember the sulfur dioxide causes the wheezing. For drinking and irrigation purpose, availability of suitable water on the earth's total water supplies is less than. So friends, as we know that 70% of earth is made up of water, and of this water only 2.5% water is fresh water, and of this 2.5% only 1% is readily available for drinking and agricultural purpose, right? And so you have to remember, only 1% water of the earth's total water supply is available for the drinking and agricultural purpose. So this is very important information you have to remember. All right. The waste component of the waste categorized as a trash consists of. So they have given us 5 options, and they have asked what is of these 5 options is called is will can be categorized into the trash. First of all, understand what is trash. So municipal solid waste is called trash, and is generally a term used for a non-hazardous solid waste from the city, town, village that requires routine daily collection and transport to disposal site, right? So this is called trash. And what is not trash? So industrial processes, so this is not a trash. Then demolition debris, sewage sludge, and mining waste and agriculture waste does not come under the trash. So this and animal waste will be taken out, and the paper, board, cardboard and cartons and wood will be trash. So remember this trash, or definition of trash is which require a daily routine collection and transport and recycling. So it is called trash. So our correct answer will be A and E, right? So the correct answer is A and E. Under the Sustainable Development Goal 12, so they have asked question on the SDG 12, the sustainable consumption and production, one of the target to reduce the per capita food waste at the retail and consumer level. So what is the target of reducing the per capita food waste at retail as well as consumer level? So these students, SDGs, Sustainable Development Goal, were enacted in 2015, and their target to complete them is by 2030, and to reduce the food waste by 2030. So they are, the target is to reduce them into the half of the per capita global food waste, right? So the correct answer is we have to reduce them by a half. Food waste should be reduced by the half. So they have asked the potential of small hydropower plant in India. Overall potential means including all the small hydropower plant in India, how much electricity, or what is the capacity of overall India's capacity of production. So first of all, understand what is small hydropower plant. So the plants which can produce electricity, or which has capacity below 25 megawatt or below that, so they are called small hydropower plant, and including all the small power plant, how much India can produce. So it is 20 gigawatt. So you have to remember 20 GW is the answer. So approximate potential of small hydropower plant is 20 gigawatt, and these small hydropower plant are further divided into micro when the capacity is 100 kilowatt or below, mini when capacity is between 101 and 2 megawatt, and small hydropower plant from 2 to 25 megawatt. So this is the explanation for the small hydropower plant. In agricultural region, groundwater can have significant concentration of which pollutant. So remember, the in the agriculture, whenever a farmer uses the fertilizers or pesticides, when it is sprayed on the crop or on the farm, so it percolates and go into the uh, inside the water and then mix with the groundwater, right? So this groundwater gets contaminated, and mostly uh, the farmers use the nitrate, right? Urea or potassium nitrate. So these are the fertilizers that are excessively used, and they are accumulated in the groundwater. So you have to remember the highest percentage of the concentration in the groundwater is of nitrate. Which of the following greenhouse gases were target gases for emission was to be covered under the first commitment period of Kyoto Protocol? So remember, this Kyoto Protocol was established in the year 1998, and it came into the effect in the year 2005, and the city where this conference or the treaty was signed was Kyoto, Japan, and it talked about the reducing the emission of the greenhouse gases, right? Greenhouse gases. So what are the greenhouse gases? So the gases which are responsible for the increasing the temperature of the earth. So you have to remember this, and these gases were carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, HFCs, sulfur hexafluoride, and the perfluorocarbons. So what are we have here? Carbon dioxide, we have nitrous oxide, and we have methane. So our correct option will be B, C, and E. So our correct option will be D, right? So remember, so this Kyoto Protocol is an extension of UNFCCC, right? 1992. So 1992. So this is extended, and the goals were extended in 1998, and it is ratified, or it came into the effect in the year 2005. So these are the important points you have to remember, these greenhouse gases. All right. Now moving to the next. Before I sign off, students, we have a complete course for UGC NET Paper 1, and we have separate batches in complete Hindi and English. Daily there will be 4 batches, a morning 10 a.m., 5 p.m., then 6 p.m., then 9 p.m. So we have 4 batches for your paper 1, where we teach you complete syllabus live, then we give you MCQ PDF, then we give you full syllabus notes. There will be 50 plus mock tests, 5,000 plus question back. So you will get everything in this course, and the fee is just 2400 for 1 year. So it is very affordable, and we guarantee you your score will be around or above 70 plus in your paper 1. So don't so just grab the opportunity. For that, you need to download our app Global Online, and from the store section you have to click on the store section and type UGC here, and you will see your course. So this is the course we have. Make the maximum use of it.